Hey guys, it's your host of the Garchomp Daily. I hope you guys are doing well. I wanted to make a little bit of a shout out here before we get started here. I wanted to say thank you guys for helping me hit 1.1 thousand views on one of my news report videos. Actually, my most recent one. Thank you. Again, don't forget to subscribe because as a lot of YouTubers, we get all these awesome views. But not all of you subscribe, and I definitely really appreciate it if you did. And again, thank you so much. And I hope you guys are really liking this content. I know I'm having a lot of fun doing it. But today I wanted to go over some theories, very high possibilities of what we're going to see. Specifically Lumiose itself, we're going to go over that a bit, see what we will possibly get, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Again, let me know down below what you think, what you want to see more of, what your opinions are really about everything we talk about in this video. What do you think we're most likely going to get? But let's get started off here. So Soul Silver is reporting us today, talking about how in Legends ZA we may have a separate Zygarde, whether that be a convergent form, a look-alike, or an R-fake. We're just trying to pinpoint what the A in ZA is. And there's a high possibility that Zygarde has another form. Rather we be in the past or the future, or we're bouncing between the past and future. I have a high possibility to see what Zygarde could have looked like in those times. And we have to remember, guys, Zygarde's made of multiple cells. And cells change. And we see this with his different forms. So there's a high chance that past Zygarde at 50% looked different than what we got within the XY games originally, because it's going to mold itself to that time to better fit its environment. And during that time, there was a lot more technology during X and Y. So therefore, that's why Zygarde 50% looks a lot more almost like a cyber version of like a slug dragon thing. Maybe during the past, maybe it could look a little bit more of a serpent or something else, you know. He also goes over, you know, Xerneas and Yveltal maybe having like separate forms, and we have to stop them with Zygarde, which I don't believe, just because we're going to have the X and Y legendaries involved. And with that being said, I feel like we're going to be more so trying to tame them from being angry, and we're going to stop their quarrel. And maybe the enemies that we have, the actual bad guy team, is trying to make them fight again and to cause that chaos once more. And it's definitely something that Lysander's ancestor, Lysander himself, would do if he, returns, because we all know that Lysander's ultimate goal was pretty evil. So that's something that I could see him doing. And really, with Gen 9, we already get a whole bunch of convergent or look-alike forms from it. I mean, sure, we don't have a lot, but it's enough for us to make a noticeable comparison to where this is something that they want to continue doing in Gen 9. I mean, we got the Wiglet line, the Toadscrew line, the Poltegeist line. It's very possible that we get these. I mean, really, it is, and Legends ZA is still going to be in Generation 9. I mean, it's not Generation 10 yet. It's going to be Gen 9, and I think this is a feature that they're going to continue on. It just makes sense, and there's a good chance that we see a lot of past versions of current Pokemon we love. And I remember in a past video I talked about Basculegion most likely going to be in the game because of some data leaks from Pokemon Home. And as far as we know, Basculegion and Hisui and Basculin are only native to Hisui, aka Old Sinnoh. So if it's going to be in, let's say, a past version of Lumiose, or we're jumping between the two, who's to say that there is a reason that Basculegion is there? Maybe it was illegally imported, or maybe Basculegion isn't as secluded to Hisui as we think. But again, who knows? We'll definitely get to see that within the game, especially if Basculegion's there. And I already theorized that we're going to get every single Pokemon that we know to man in it. So it makes sense. Now, if it's in the future, then obviously you can just be like, well, people just brought all these Pokemons over and, blah, blah, blah. And just like, they're just bringing them over, therefore they're populating everywhere. So I think this is a really good theory. I definitely believe that there's a good idea behind Zygarde. And I personally think that that's a possibility, because when you have a hive mind, that's basically all the Zygarde cells making Zygarde himself. We have to remember that a lot of times splinter cells happen, and maybe we have a rogue splinter cell that splits Zygarde in half from its 100% form, and it goes off and does its own thing, and it molds itself to look like it wants, and maybe it looks like this big old three-headed serpent or something, and maybe we'll have a whole fairy tale ending to where Zygarde and it combined again, knowing that they need each other or something like that. Some type of Disney ending, or maybe the A something else. And we'll get into that a little bit more now as we move on here. Tomorrow, so talking about Lumiose. So, again, within X and Y, we had the workers cut us off, saying, there's power outages, with a blackout, we're fixing it, and then you obviously unlock it later. And this is something that they can play into more within the game itself on unlocking sections. And Soul Silver, again, follow this guy. He's awesome. He makes a good point here. As I said below in the redevelopment plan, the group behind it could cause it. Maybe they want to switch the cities from electric energy to infinity energy, which is a rumor that has been suggested. Infinity energy may make Lumiose's aspirations limitless, but it could have a drastic effect on the environment. Now, again, also, that's a really good idea. It also means to bring in a Diancie here, saying that a new element or maybe a gemstone from Diancie could be introduced, maybe to cause new Mega Evolutions that saps up all the energy around the Pokemon that makes them rage. Again, we saw the raging Pokemon from the Alphas in Legends Arceus, which I would definitely assume they would bring back. And really, Diancie's been kind of quiet. I know when X and Y and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire when both those games came out, it was a pretty big Pokemon, and now it's kind of went under the radar, and I think this game's going to help it. I definitely hope that they use Diancie more. They really should. Again, they could really play into this. I mean, Diancie could be a hero in this. Who knows? And again, it goes on to talk about Zygarde. Zygarde's the main legendary in this, at least as far as we know. I mean, it could be a side legendary for all we know, but it would only make sense if it was more than just it's just being there. And there is a good reason to believe that perhaps Zygarde's upset that the environment's being taken advantage of and is trying to stop the entire redevelopment plan. And that could happen, and maybe you unlock them by uncasting the shadows by certain tasks, and maybe like Lysander or Team Quasar sabotaging the city, something like that. And then he mentions like Necrozma or Guzzlord being involved. But what really interested me was maybe there is a legendary that is a virus type Pokemon, like a poison, or even tree or roots of Pokemon, and it's infecting the Lumiose City infrastructure. And if we remember, X and Y and now Z are all based off of the Tree of Life. This could make sense. I mean, this could really play into that whole myth and tale about it. And I would definitely, in my personal opinion, if they were to make Zygarde have like a rogue version of itself, I definitely like that. But in my deep down, I really love like this antagonistic A legendary, and it's like the reverse of what Zygarde is, and it's trying to mess with the balance, and we have to stop it. Like, I think that'd be really cool, and we have to like maybe like through tasks stop and cut off certain routes so it could open up new sections, which mean more Pokemon. And again, he even mentions Mega Rayquaza, but this all comes to play a big factor here with his general theory of, as you can see, the whole idea of restoring power to Lumiose City in Pokemon ZA isn't a new idea, and it really isn't. I mean, we got this in Hisui. Paris is very connected to light, and it would make sense that some of the reasons in redeveloping the city would be strictly because it's going to focus on that power and continuously having that power source. And he says, you know, they lose power in different sections of the city. These sections could work like areas in Legends Arceus. There's actually the same amount as well. And that's actually a really good point. We have 5 sections, and we got 5 new sections here. I mean, again, you don't consider Jubilife City. You can consider these, you know, Alabaster Icelands, Coronet Highlands, Obsidian Fieldlands, Crimson Mirelands, and then the Cobalt Coastline. That is a really huge thing, and I definitely think it would be possible. I mean, if you look at the centers here, I mean, look at these, like look at these big old circles here. This could be a specific area for encounters, or you know, these big areas. I know these circles are really big on the map, and I think they could definitely play a factor. And I don't know what exactly that would be, but you know, we could definitely speculate. Soul Silver goes on to say maybe we'd have to fully unlock these sections by catching certain Pokemon or defeating the crazed Megas that are using up all the power in the sections, all in order to restore power and light in the city, one section at a time. And that's a very big possibility, and I think that would be really cool. And maybe this could be a way they can introduce new Megas. Like maybe they have like 5 new specific Megas. I finger crossed for a Mega Flygon. This would be huge. And I personally think it would be something that I would really look forward to. The last thing we're going to quickly go over here before I let you guys go is talking about what we'll see legendary-wise within ZA. Now, I used Blaze Incineroar here because I really liked his overall review over this. And Blaze says, I was thinking the total number of legendaries and mythicals we could see in ZA. Pokémon Legends Arceus had all the Gen 4 legendaries and mythicals plus genies. And then XY had 10 legendaries total in the Kalos Dexes, so maybe we will get more ZA to bulk up the number. But how much more? And that being said, I think we will get all these. So like again, like we will get. Oh, if it would load, good lord. It doesn't want to load for us here. Why ain't that fun? Oh, I apologize for this. Just some errors here. We just fixed that there as much as we could. But again, you can see we have the legendary birds. We have Mewtwo. You know, again, like these are the ones that we got. And again, Hoopa. Volcanion. I want to see more of Volcanion because again, another under the rug, you know, mythical Pokemon that I'd really love to see used again. And he says, you know, I guess maybe either of these options could work as well, Hoenn Legends, because they got new forms, or Legends of Justice. Well, Swords of Justice, sorry, Legends of Justice. Swords of Justice, because I like the Three Musketeers, which is a French story. Megas Keldeo would be great. And I think this would be a great addition. And again, if we have every single Pokemon, that means every single legendary. And maybe we get those legendaries later on, like a DLC, you know, but maybe part of the story. I definitely see that all these would be a part of it. Especially with Zero Aura. Again, another Pokemon that I like to see more of. If we do go ahead and do these, I mean, this would be nice too. And I really think if they were just to single out a bunch of legendaries and mythicals just for the story, and let's say that we do get every single legendary again, we can go in the order of they're going to focus on these right here as the story, and then we can go get the others via events, giveaways, etc. But as a term of story, I definitely agree with this one more. Don't get me wrong, I love my Rayquaza, Groudon, Kyogre. I love them. But they're Pokemon that I don't really see being part of the story as much, because I think they would take away from our main guys here, Xerneas, Zygarde, Yveltal. But these guys here, it makes sense. You know, the Three Musketeers coming in and trying to help us. You know, that'd be really great for story. But let me know what you think. Again, I'm not opposed to this, but this would just make more sense. You know, having the Three Musketeers and all. But no, this really brings us to the end of our speculation and really theories of, you know, rumors that we will most likely get within the games. I'm really excited for this. We should hopefully get a great Pokemon Presents next month. I'm really counting the days. Just because we've gotten so little on Legends ZA, and it's because they're really trying to amp it up and have the hype and make it worthwhile. And I think they're definitely going to deliver, especially with how long that they took making the game. So, in the comments below, please let me know what you think. I appreciate you guys watching. Please, as always, subscribe, save, you know, favorite, and don't forget to subscribe as well. And I hope to see you guys again sometime. Again, also, I'm going to be posting a lot later today since it's 2:30 a.m. But I wanted to get a video out to you guys. You know, I really appreciate you guys giving me such a hike in viewing numbers, and I really do appreciate that. You guys don't understand how much that makes me happy. So I hope to hear from you guys. I'll talk at you later. Again, be a chomp above the rest, as always, and have a good night.